Come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Let's see. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Come on in, come on in. We're going to be talking about the 5 things that you must do to preserve your energy and create consistent income amidst societal chaos, okay, without collapsing or chasing. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. And also, as you're coming in, if you can hear me clearly, put a 1 in the comments for me. Please. Put a 1 in the comments for me. Oh, I left my little scrunchie on my hand. Come on in, come on in. Jealous that I make up on my hand. Come on in, come on in. Come on in. We're going to be talking about the 5 ways that you can preserve your energy and create consistent income in your business amidst all kinds of world chaos, amidst all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But there's still a way for you to be able to make money in. But you're going to have to really, really, really preserve. You're going to have to create, okay? And you're really going to have to regulate. Those are going to be the 3 things. So I'm going to talk about that today. So come on in, share this with another amazing woman who is in business, who is trying to make sure that she is creating consistent income in a chaotic society. Even though, okay, it may seem like everything is coming down on her, there's a way to be able to still preserve your energy and still create consistent cash flow. Okay? So I want you to do that. All right? So share this with an amazing woman. My name is Elle Antoinette. I am a mentor to women of wealth and women of influence. And what I do specifically is I support my amazing clients in regulating their emotions, restoring their power so that they can lead, earn, and attract via energetic alignment, okay? Because a lot of us have done a lot of work to attract things or manifest things from performance-based. And what we're learning and what a lot of women have learned is that performance-based attraction is not sustainable. And if you don't believe me, look at the women who are sitting at the top in corporate, who have done all of this work and yada, 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 and look at how exhausted they are, how they never have time for anything, how sick they are, all these different type of things you really need to kind of pay attention to. A lot of performance-based things, a lot of people get into spaces where they're just kind of doing something and this is not something that really aligns with them, and they realize eventually they get exhausted, they get tired, because the mask, it just stops them from being able to breathe. And a lot of us learned that during COVID. The longer you wear a mask, the harder it is for you to be able to breathe. So a lot of women have been performing, and another form of performing is people pleasing. To people please is to perform. To code switch is to perform. To try to keep the peace is to perform. A lot of women have been running around here doing a lot of performance-based things and wondering why they're not able to sustain the very things that they claim that they want or the things that they've manifested. So we're going to talk about that today, how you can use, how these 5 things can support you in preserving your energy and making sure that you are creating consistent income without collapsing, without chasing, even amidst world chaos, okay? Because it can be done. Y'all, something is on my lip. My lip's about to drive me crazy. I don't see if it's some a fine hair from my makeup brush. Let me look. I can't see it, but I feel like I can feel it. And it's going to drive me crazy until I figure it out. Put a purple heart in the comments to let me know that you're here while I try to get this thing off of me, whatever it is. I feel it. There you go. Woo. Okay. Put a purple heart in the comments for me to let me know that you're present. So like I said, we're going to be talking about these 5 things, okay? Before we get into these 5 things, or let me just tell you how this is going to go. We're going to talk about the reasons of why you're in this space. We're going to talk about the spiritual laws that you are violating that's literally costing you energy and income. And then we're going to get into those 5 things that you really need to start doing right now. The reason why I'm doing this live is because, like I said, we're sitting in a window. And all the decisions that you make right now in this window are extremely important and extremely vital, okay? So just to be clear, so whoever does not need to be in the room can leave the room, or whoever needs to come into the room comes into the room. I want to talk about specifically who this live is for, okay? This live specifically is for women who have been branding, have been positioning themselves, but really are burning out. Okay, this is specifically for women who want consistent income from alignment and not anxiety. Okay, this is for women who are ready to invest in the nervous system behind your next level, because a lot of women don't realize that how you're going to thrive in this new era that we've entered into is by being regulated, because there's so many different things that are going to be coming your way that's going to stop you from being regulated, that's going to try to attempt to throw you off course, to try to make you become emotional and irrational and all these things. The last from 2010 until maybe even up until now, they have been preparing everyone for this time frame using the media. And what I mean by that is they have made things that normally were not permissible, or were not as allowed, or were not okay to be okay, via reality TV, via the media, via all of these things. So it basically, for the last 15 years or so, there's been a training to disrupt your nervous system with a lot of the media and the different things that they're putting out there with you, okay? So because of those things, and because they put that information out there, basically your subconscious mind is trained. I want to explain something to you about when you watch media and when you listen to media, what kind of happens, because I think people don't really understand or realize that, okay? Hi, Lovey. Thank you for these likes. When you are watching television, when you're watching a movie, when you're watching a series, a show, whatever, the goal of the people who created the whole thing is to get you emotionally invested, okay? If you watch things with your emotional eye, you will always be confused. You will always be triggered. You will always be in a space to where you are wrapped up in something that is not real, okay? And what you're doing is that you're subconsciously programming, thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. You're subconsciously programming your mind, whether you realize it or not. So when we look at reality TV from the narrative of how to see black women, for example, right? If we were to look at reality TV over the last 15 years as an example of what black women represent, or what story is being told, you guys are remembering the storylines, the things that made you laugh, the things that made you feel like, dang, that was wrong. But you're not paying attention to the narrative that's being used to program your mind, which says that black women are always fighting each other. Black women don't really like each other. Black women allow men to disrespect them and allow themselves to be the side and the third, and we accept and we do all these things. It's the narrative. It's the underline. See, when you really come into yourself, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, you really, especially spiritually, you begin to see things with your spiritual eye. You don't see things from the state of emotions. You always have to pay attention to what is the underlying story. You always have to pay attention to what is the narrative that they are trying to give to you. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. What is the narrative that they are spitting and spewing to you? You really have to pay attention to the underline. And a lot of us are missing that. So you're being programmed to operate a certain kind of way and you don't even realize it. Another great example of this is when the pandemic happened. Everyone is very, as a woman who has built a 6-figure plus business from the ground up and who supported other women in being able to make that type of money as well, what I can tell you is that a lot of people are under a 6-figure curse. And the 6-figure curse that a lot of people are under is that I just want to make $100,000. I cannot tell you how many women get on calls with me and the first thing they say is that I know you can do it. I want you to show me how to make $100,000, right? And I always ask, where did you get this $100,000 number from? And they always say, well, it's something that I just wanted because I've done this or I've done that. And so I end up going back to 2020 when the big programming around that time, when content creators and a lot of coaches and a lot of, entrepreneurs started stepping out. 6 figures was the big thing to do, hitting $100,000. So people got under the spell of, I want to make $100,000. And a lot of you are still under that spell of, I just want to get to $100,000. Oh, I just want to get to $200,000. Or I just want to get to at least 6 figures in that space. Not realizing that 6 figures at that space is still on the poverty line. That's how much under a spell a lot of business owners, that's how much of a spell, at like how heavy it is, that so many business owners are stuck and have put $100,000 ceiling cap on their ability to be able to make money or call in more money. They put that cap on there due to that programming, when the reality is $100,000 in your business is not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough at all. $100,000 in your business is not $100,000 in your pocket. And when you understand that, you understand that $100,000 is not enough. Even if you were getting right now to this day $100,000 in your pocket, is still not enough in comparison to where things are going. So if you're going to do business, it needs to make sense. And this is why I'm saying, and I had those feminine sales strategy sessions for 150, because you need to be scaling your business to 5 figures and more. If you're not in that space, you really need to be on that. You need to be on that type of time. And I only have like 3 of those left. And yesterday really was technically the last day. So those 3 spots, if you want any of them, DM me the word session and I'll send you a link. It's 150. You can get a recliner from an Afterpay. I'm going to send you the payment link if you DM me the word session. But you really need to be scaling to at least a higher form of 5 figures a month, getting yourself to position to 6 figures a month. Because the thing about it is, it's not that these things are difficult. It's all up to you. It's all about your consistency. If you want to, making your first $10,000 in business is nothing but mindset. You have to get over the hump that somebody's going to pay you that. Once you get over that hump and you're like, okay, cool, bet, then it goes into your marketing to get your other money so you can make $100,000. If you want to make $1 million, you hire 10 people to do exactly what you did to make $100,000. That is literally how you set yourself up to become a millionaire. Okay, so but that requires systems, that requires strategy, but that's basically what it looks like. Mindset, marketing, and systems. That is literally how you position yourself to become a millionaire. What a lot of people don't realize and they don't understand is that when you put yourself in a space of feeling like you have to perform to get this money, or to perform or put on or act a different kind of way to be able to attract these type of opportunities, that is where you create the block within yourself. And a lot of women are performing, and that's why they're not sustaining what they get. This is why the CEO who gets to the top and who's making 6 figures can't hack it anymore, because she's having an anxiety attack about XYZ and whatever's going on at work and in the business. That is because it's performance based. She's trying to prove that she can hang with the big dogs. She's going harder. I have to go twice as hard. I have to do that. That type of thing breaks you down, and you can't sustain what it is that you're building. You can't sustain what it is that you have. The very thing that you manifested, it means nothing to manifest something if you can't sustain it. Anybody can manifest money. That's why I don't teach the whole manifesting money. Of course, I could easily teach you that and you can make money. But manifesting money is very easy. The first rule to manifesting money is do not manifest money, because money is not exactly what you want. You think that's what you want. You actually want the money to accomplish something. What you want is to manifest the accomplishment. Because you are focused on the money runs from you, because money doesn't like to be chased. Money likes speed, but money energetically does not like to be chased. Chasing is a form of desperation, meaning I gotta have you. There are no other options. Money doesn't respond to that, much like people don't respond to you chasing them or stalking them or being obsessed with them. When you start to realize that money is an energetic experience, it's not the paper that you're seeing, because the paper that you're seeing is made up of 75% cotton, 25% linen. You really need to go study how paper money came into play. Because if you really understood that, you'll take it off the pedestal. And this is why it tells you in scripture that the love of money is the root of all evil. Because you love it so much, you'll sacrifice yourself for it. You'll sacrifice other people for it. You'll compromise your ethics. You'll lose everything about the very elements of self that make you great. You'll throw them in the trash for paper, because you don't understand that you are the one with the true value. Okay? So you have to grasp and understand that when you're dealing with money, we're not talking about this whole, oh, I need to be good. It's energetically. Are you in a space to receive? Are you in a space where you can retain? Are you in a space where you can sustain? Okay, when we're talking about money, especially the time that we are in right now, there are too many ways for you to be diversifying. There are too many ways for you to be pivoting in your business, but still staying authentically true to what it is that you're doing. There's too many ways for you to be able to do it, for you to be shortchanging yourself. But if you want to get in the space of doing that, you got to stop violating these laws I'm going to talk about. And then the next thing after that is that you really have to start considering implementing the 5 things that I'm going to tell you if you want to create consistent cash flow in your business without chasing, without collapsing, amid this chaotic society. Okay? I'm going to tell you how to do that, as well as preserving your energy, because that's going to be required. You think that they try to stress you out now with the things that you see online and that you see in the media and that you hear. You better hold tight. And I'm trying to tell you something without telling you something. You better hold tight, because there's a lot more coming. Your mind has to be fortified. See, this is where the whole being a captor of your thoughts makes sense, and where it's talking about in scripture. You're going to have to know how to set your mind on things above. You're going to have to know how to do these things. Thank you, my love, for these likes, these gifts. You got to know how to do these things. It's going to be vital, because only the grounded and the rooted are going to be the ones who are going to be able to thrive. You've got to understand that. You better know spiritual law. You better understand the science of yourself. You better understand the psychology of your lineage, or you're doomed to create or repeat generational trauma. You can be in therapy for 30 years, sweetheart. If you don't master those 3 things, you're going to struggle to thrive. And if you're going to struggle to thrive, you're going to struggle to create a new reality for your people coming after you. So you really have to gain this understanding. But let's go ahead and get into it. 5 things you must do to preserve your energy and create consistent income without chasing or collapsing amid the chaos in society. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. So if you have a business and you're thinking about, okay, I'm doing all the things, I'm showing up, I'm posting, I'm planning, I'm creating, but you still feel like you're tired, you still feel like you're chasing, you still feel like you're watching, your income is still inconsistent when it comes down to your business, no matter like what you do. It just doesn't seem to be working for you, okay? It's not a strategy issue, because I'm going to be honest with you. You could go live. You could write emails. I'm going to tell you all the ways that you can make money right now, for sure, that I know, because I've made money, all of them. You can create digital products. You can create physical products, okay? You can send emails about offers. You can go live about your offers on live video. You can create short form content. You can create long form content on Facebook. I have made thousands of dollars from each one of those avenues that I just told you, okay? But you have to find all of those work. That's my point. So it's not a strategy issue. A lot of y'all have the strategy. The issue is that it's a frequency issue that you have happening on the inside of you, because it's a nervous system issue. You don't feel safe enough to receive. Let me tell you something as a woman, and women don't realize this. See, this is where it harms you when you are too heavy into your masculine energy or your hyper independence energy. This is where it harms you when it comes down to business. Because women who tend to be hyper independent and women who tend to be overly in their masculine energy struggle to receive because they give so much. Okay? If you struggle to receive because you give so much in your life, when it comes down to how you operate in business, it is going to be similar. And let me explain. You struggle to receive in your life because you're always giving to everyone. You're always this, you're always that. You're always everyone's person. You're the one that went to school. You're the smartest one in the family. You're this and you're that and da da da, right? Nobody ever pours into you. That secretly bothers you, but you don't really fully address that. But here's how that transfers over. How you do things one way is normally how you do all things. So if you're doing this in life, you're doing this in business. So if there's a block to receive in life, there's a block to receive in business. And that's why you ain't getting no money. Because energetically, you have not made it safe for you to be vulnerable enough to say, I need support. I need help. These are the things that I need for myself, for me to operate this way with you, yada, 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 yada. Because you lack the ability to be vulnerable in that area due to your previous scenarios in ways that you have been disappointed and you have been hurt, which have shaped who you've become. You are in a space where support is stagnant. You are in a space where you can't receive. It is uncomfortable for you to receive. These are the same women that say when you finally are offered some form of help, you decline it. And you decline it possibly because you don't think the person is going to do it right or do it the way that you think it should be done, or you don't want to be a burden to someone else. Yet you will allow everyone to burden you. This is what I'm saying. You are not an energetic match to receive money in your business. You struggle to receive support. So why would you be supported? Why would you be supported? Because you struggle to receive support. You struggle with the vulnerability of being authentic and honest about in your feminine nature about the support that you really desire. You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to speak on that because you are afraid. See, there we go. There we go. What are we afraid of? We are afraid of repeating the same scenarios. Why are we still afraid of repeating the same scenarios? Because we have not paid attention to how we participated or given permission to these scenarios to play out the way they did, or because we were simply not paying attention. We have not taken accountability and responsibility, and because of that, we are still afraid because we are going to repeat the same scenarios because you have not looked and done the work. That's your truth. And because of that, you're unable to receive because you block it. And you do that in life and you do that in business. And this is why life and business look the way it looks. It's not what you thought it was going to be. It's because you're not an energetic match for the things that you desire and the things that you want. It's a frequency issue. Okay? Let's get into the real reasons why a lot of women are drained. You know, a lot of women are brilliant. We're very educated. I'm degreed up too, so I get it. We're very educated. We're extremely brilliant. But the thing is, we've built brands and businesses around our brilliance, but you still operate from survival mode because there is a root of lack. See, fear, the real truth of fear is rooted in lack. You're afraid because you feel like you don't have something. Oh my goodness, this person pulled a weapon on me. I'm afraid because I don't have anything to defend myself. I lack protection. Oh my goodness, I'm afraid to get in another relationship because I possibly could lose myself. Fear of losing self because you know that you overgive. See, the thing about it is women who have a fear of losing self are women who often overgive, overextend, overfunction. And instead of correcting the issue of overfunctioning and overgiving, they cut themselves off from receiving. You cut yourself off from receiving because you call it lack of trust. I don't trust people. I don't trust this. I don't trust that. When in reality, it's not your lack of trust. It's your inability to pay attention and to be aware of self. Because when you understand and you are aware of the value of self, you protect self. You move differently. You maneuver differently. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these things come from you performing and not keeping it real. All of these things come from you not being authentic. Authenticity attracts. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. Authenticity attracts. Whatever you attract under false pretenses, okay, you're not going to be able to sustain, because it's kind of like this. If you get something under the guise of the fake you, who's going to manage it? Is the fake you going to manage what you just got? Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Or is the real you going to manage it? Because the fake you really can't manage that, truthfully. Because you can't keep up. You're not going to be able to keep up these appearances. That's why I say this performance-based work that women don't understand that they need to stop doing is not going to be beneficial to you in the end. You cannot perform your way into a marriage. You cannot audition your way into a spot, into a relationship. You cannot perform your way into these things. You cannot perform your way into becoming a 6 and 7 figure business owner. This has to come from you. Like, the whole concept, and I wish people really understood this, that whole concept of getting it out of the mud is getting it out of the mud of the grit within yourself. It's not getting it out of the mud, because getting earthly resources is not difficult. Getting money is not difficult. What is difficult is being disciplined. What is difficult is being consistent in things that other people may look at and be like, oh, I ain't finna do all of that. I remember when Angela Bassett got online and everyone raves and rants about her figure all the time. And she got online and told y'all exactly what she did. How she don't eat this, how she don't eat that, how she work out every single day, how she has to pay somebody, how she has to pay her trainer so that she can show up because she knows herself. She put herself in position to win. She set up systems because she understood the slack within herself. See, that's what I'm talking about when we're actually getting into the reality of what it takes to actually win. A lot of y'all don't want to win. Y'all just want to look like you're winning. But you don't want to go through the process of winning, because the process of going through to win is not pretty. What's pretty is the gold at the end of the rainbow. What's pretty is what you end up seeing. You see the results. And see, this is how a lot of us come into spaces of idealizing something, or thinking you have an idea of something. Then you have this pipeline from idea to idolizing something. Women do it all the time with relationships and relationships goals. You don't know these people. You don't know these people. You have an idea of them. And if you really want to understand the power of a planted idea, and you really about their life, and you really want to go deep with it, I have a movie that you can watch. For some, it may be extremely boring, but for other ones, if you understand the concept, you will understand the severity of and the danger when you plant an idea, or an idea is planted in your mind, how deadly and how serious that can be. Watch Inception. When an idea enters into your mind, there's an expectation. And this is why a lot of women get disappointed, because you have expectations of other people based on an idea that was planted in your mind. He lied to me. You accepted words without actions, and you took that idea to be truth. And when the expectation didn't meet, now we're disappointed. Now we have an issue. The scripture says you will know them by your fruit. They will know you by your fruit. Y'all don't even allow people to show you the fruit. And you're already having this idea of a person. So you have this expectation. And we have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that to ourselves. Because we are constantly out here performing based on an idea. And it's harming us. Your power as a woman is real, and it's not your problem. The problem is that you're performing. The problem is when you lead from proving yourself, when you lead from that type of energy, like, I gotta prove myself, instead of your presence, your energy leaks. You show up exhausted, and you repel the very thing that you want. You don't show up trying to prove yourself. People, I remember a clip from a episode of Love and Hip Hop years ago, and I can remember it was a man that was trying to impress. I think they were in a club. I can't remember where it was at. I think it was like K. Michelle, somebody else in the club, whatever. And the guy started showing him her money, like how he had money, right? So what she did in return by looking at him like showing his money is that she pulled out her money and she started showing that she got money too. Like, you ain't really got to prove, you ain't really doing nothing. But she did that to prove to him that I have money too. The reality of the situation is this: you don't have to prove anything to anyone. When you step into a room, your presence should be proof. Your presence should be proof because you shouldn't be everywhere and your presence should be very exclusive. So it should be a privilege for you to even walk into this person's room. I can't, you know what I like? You know what I enjoy? When I decide to entertain the male species and they say, you know what, I'm really glad that you actually took the time to be here. It is an honor to really get some of your time. It's a privilege. See, I like that. I need you to know it's a privilege to get my time because I don't have free time. There's always something that I could be doing for me. I don't have free time. And it should be a privilege. Your presence should be a privilege to people. When your presence is no longer a privilege to people, this is when you start getting played, beloved. This is when they start positioning you to take you for granted, sweetheart. When your presence is not appreciated and not treated as a privilege, you are positioned to be played. Nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you are simply not paying attention. You should understand that you are a first class experience and everyone can't ride first class. But here's the truth. If you really ain't a first class experience, if you don't know that, feel that, understand that, embody that, then that's not your reality. So everyone is going to jump on board because it's easy work. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these comments. It's easy work. When you lead from proving instead of your presence, your energy leaks. You're going to show up exhausted every time and you're going to repel the results that you want. So I want you to stop repelling those results. So let's get into these laws that you're violating and why this keeps happening that's costing you energy and income in your business. Because your business, you were not supposed to leave corporate and being in an exhausted, horrible environment there to come into your business to be exhausted and create another horrible environment there. That does not make any sense. Your business is supposed to be a vehicle to freedom. Okay? It's supposed to be a tool to set you up and set people up that's coming behind you. It's not supposed to be you hustling 24/7. That makes absolutely no sense at all. Okay? And when you have that and when you're doing that, that means that there's an issue in the belief area because you believe that you need to do everything. A lot of us are so educated that we want to DIY everything when in reality, that is the cheapest way and the quickest way for you to bankrupt your business. You need to start paying people. Stop trying to YouTube everything. You can't do it. You don't have the time, energy, and attention to do all of that. And I don't know why you don't realize that. It's your belief in thinking that that's black girl magic and you being superwoman and you being a fool. You are pushing yourself into sickness. One of my modalities is that I'm an energetic psychology practitioner, which means that I can tell you how your emotions affect your organs. I can tell you, as a woman who had cycle issues for 21 years and a regular cycle for 21 years, I can tell you how anger ruins your liver, how your liver is a huge part of your cycle. It has over 300 functions in your body. So that whole blind rage thing, you know that you can get so mad that you cause your liver to not give the nourishing blood that goes to your eyes and you can go blind? Yeah. Being mad at your baby daddy that long? Yeah. It gets real like that within your body. We are not meant to carry these things. We are not meant to be out here being emotional rehabs and all these other type of things and allowing ourselves to be emotionally spent. Because our emotions and our vulnerability and all these things are important. And that energy is supposed to be placed in specific areas. Not in these fools that you're dealing with. And not in this foolishness that you're paying attention to. That's why you burn out. You're not burnt. People are not burning you out. You burn out because you ain't got no boundaries. You burn out because you don't know how to protect yourself. You burn out because you didn't tattoo on your heart, guard your heart above everything else because from it flows life. That's why you're burnt out. You're burnt out because you don't capture your thoughts. You're burnt out is because you receive every single information. You allow anything to make you anxious. You are in spiritual violation all over the place. That is why you are emotionally unstable. Okay? It's real. You become your own enemy when you make decisions against yourself. And it literally lets you know that in John 10:10. It says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But the kicker about that is you become your own enemy. Because last time I checked, Satan don't put no gun to your head and no hand behind your back. You make all your decisions and your choices. The only thing that entity can do is put what you claim you want in front of you. See, only you know who you are behind closed doors. And so the enemy does nothing but put what you want in front of you and gonna see what you gonna do for it. How hard you gonna go for it. How much you gonna compromise your soul for it. Until you become your own enemy. Until you steal your own joy, which is a spiritual fruit. And then you kill your own confidence, which is the way you break your spirit. Until you self-destruct. It's real simple. Real simple, real easy. If you're not paying attention. It's real simple, real easy to do. That is how you literally self-destruct, because you are not paying attention. So let's get into these violations. Number one, the law of divine order, okay? Your value is inherent. And if you don't understand that your value is inherent, that is going to be, your life is going to be extremely difficult. A lot of people self-destruct and allow people to use them up because they do not understand that they have inherent value. It tells you, everything I give you going to come from scripture, science, and psychology, okay? It literally tells you in scripture that you have a godlike nature, godlike character, and dominion on this earth, right? Which basically breaks down is that you have the godlike nature, you have the character to be able to, you have your own lane, dominion, but you have to have dominion over yourself before you can have dominion over your reality and before you can have dominion over this earth. Okay? That's what people don't understand. See, your dominion goes as far as you do. How about that? Your dominion depends on how deep you go within yourself. That's how far your dominion is going to spread. And you really have to pay attention to that. So when people don't realize that they have inherent value, they allow themselves to be abused, they misuse themselves, they undercharge, they overperform trying to prove their worth. This is why people feel like I got to show you all these degrees that I have. Knowing doggone well the depths. See, let's get to the underline. Let's get to the underline. And this is coming from someone who has a master's, a bachelor's, and did some doctoral work, but I quit my doctoral program because I was in my ego, and I'm real enough to say that. So the thing about it is this. When you are showing off saying, yeah, you're trying to prove that you're smart. You're trying to prove that you're an intellect. You're trying to prove that you work hard. But for who, though? Who? Who are you trying to prove this to? And why do you need to prove these things if you are who you are? And this is what I'm talking about when it comes down to this performance-based society. And then to turn around to be in a society that says, yes, you have all these degrees. Yes, this is wonderful. But yes, you just got these student loans. You ain't got enough work experience. Oh, that degree don't mean nothing. That degree don't mean nothing. So you basically are $100-something thousand in debt for a piece of paper that they are now telling you means nothing. But here you are trying to get your shine on in conversations because you degreed up. Performance-based reality is out. All that you got to work hard. If you do this, they lie. All that was programming. People at the top basically were going around and going on tours saying, if you work hard, you can be like me. If you work hard, you can get money like me. Knowing doggone well they had head starts. Knowing doggone well that they didn't work hard. Knowing doggone well a lot of that happened. So that programming developed, I gotta perform, I gotta perform, I gotta perform, I gotta perform. And eventually it got exhausting. Then society got sick. Everybody got anxiety. Everybody is this, everybody is that. And guess what they doing now? They ain't fixing your problem. They creating robots to replace you. Imagine a society that will program you into sickness, that would program you into stress, that would program you into stagnation, and then turn around in your face, put your replacement in your face and have you even playing with it. You do understand when you're playing with ChatGPT, you are programming, right? You do understand when apps first come along, the first 3 years, it's a lot of research that's being done, right? Where you think them conversations going? Y'all don't think that they're gonna connect that virtual AI reality into some of those robots? Y'all don't remember when them people was chained outside who created those AI robots and was like, hey, this is a bit much, guys. It's going too far. It's getting a little too much. What y'all think they gonna do? They study you. You are the project. You are the experiment. You are the experiment. And you are constantly feeding it your thoughts, your truth, your secrets. Child. Still performing. The law of divine order, your value is inherent. If you're still performing, your energy says, I don't believe that. If you're still performing, your energy is saying, I don't believe that I'm good enough to be myself, so I need to be somebody else to be accepted. When other people die hard, want to be accepted by others, it's because they have not accepted themselves. The law of polarity is real in every scenario. If you understand spiritual law, I'm telling you, you'll thrive. You need to understand the law of polarity is real. You will always meet yourself. You're going to always meet yourself. Here's the second law that you violate, and that's costing you energy and that's costing you income. Because if you're saying it, you don't believe that your value is inherent, that means you don't believe you need to receive, which means you won't receive. So energetically, you block money right there. Let's get into it. The second thing is the law of resonance. You attract what you embody. Hello. Didn't I just say if you attract under false pretenses, you might get it, but you can't sustain what you have. You attract what you embody. And this even comes to how you represent yourself, because let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I am a very big person. I am a person who is big on dress how you want to be addressed. I am a fan of everyone wearing whatever makes them feel however they need to feel to be at 100% themselves, to have a high vibrational state. But I am also, in the same breath, I am very big on dress how you want to be addressed, because you will attract what you are embodying. You may not even be that, but if you embody that in any form, you will be labeled and you will attract that. And people don't want to live in that reality. See, people talk about the law of attraction, but people don't really want to talk about it for what it is, because here's the thing that you need to understand. And this is rooted in scripture. It tells you, how can two walk together if they don't agree? You cannot be out here embodying an essence that's not truly who you are, because what you are going to attract under that, you're gonna harm it. And I'm talking to you lover girls, because y'all love to do this. I understand that y'all are in a space right now where you're trying to dim the lover girl within you because everything is so crazy and life is like this, but you're embodying a mean girl. See, you're embodying the energy of someone who is not who you are. You're trying to embody the energy of, I'm going to get this money, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And this is why these things don't work for you, and men sniff you out, and you end up getting played at the end, because, again, you're trying to embody something that you're not. See, a lot of you want to be wise, but you're embodying a situationship and wondering why you're not being wifed. You go into scenarios where people tell you they don't want nothing serious, they don't want this, and they don't want that, and you want to stay into it, embodying a person who's okay with that. You coming in like, I'm cool with that. You doing this, I'm cool. I'm cool. 6 months later, what are we? I want to be married. I don't keep doing this. You don't get to change the rules of the game, because when you came in, you embodied that you were okay with this, and this was attractive to me because you understood that I didn't want nothing serious. But now all of a sudden it's a bit of an issue. Now it's a bit of a problem. No. You attract what you embody on all levels. So if you are anxious, your client's going to be anxious. If you are anxious, you're going to attract people who are going to elevate that anxiousness, because you are sitting on the vibrational state of fear. People in love are not going to meet you on the vibrational state of fear. People who have hit the frequency of love are not coming back down there, because the hell it takes to climb up from fear into love, ain't nobody finna slide back down there with you. So the people that you're meeting on the frequency of your anxious attachment style are people who are going to continue to trigger that. And if you are looking for someone to come in and not be that way, then you need to correct your attachment style. You need to correct the fact that you are attached to anything in this world. See, that's your biggest issue. You want to know the root of any form of attachment style coming from someone who used to be anxiously attached, who is now very secure attached? Your attachment in general, because you aren't to be attached to anything in this world. Everything of this world has an expiration date. Your relationship, milk and water. So why do you feel like everything is supposed to stick and stay with you forever when deep down you know better? Programming. You know that everything in this world has an expiration date. What are you attached to? You're attached to an expectation. You're attached to something that's not even real. You're attached to something that's not even real. You want to stop attracting avoidant attachments. You heal your attachment to to your expectation and to the idea, because that's what's really happening. So if you want to deal with that, you have to deal with self. So in order for you to have an attachment style, something has to be attached to you. Undo that. Because you can. And I've supported women in being able to do this. And I've done it myself. You can undo that. All of that. Any form of attachment, because that's what it boils down to. It's attachment. It's literally attachment. That's it. Okay? If you're anxious, your client's going to be anxious. If you, and here's the thing too. I'm going to be honest with you. If you are attached, you're not in your feminine. What people don't like to hear that, but it's true. The feminine is naturally detached. Everybody talks about black cat energy, but the biggest thing about a black cat is that the black cat is detached. The black cat is detached. You never see a black cat just running up on people like, oh, love me. Love me when I want to be loved. Get out of my face when I don't want to be bothered. I'm going to be over here. I know it's going to be some food ready. I know it's going to be this. The black cat is not worried or concerned. So the thing about it is, if you want to really stop attracting different forms or avoidance or this or whatever this attachment, you have to detach yourself from these outcomes, from these expectations, from these ideas. You really need to deconstruct. It's a deconstruction process that needs to happen on the inside of you so you can learn how to detach from this world. Nothing of this world is permanent, and you know that. That's the crazy part about it. You know that. But we we let society trick us into believing that things are forever. Your life on this earth ain't forever. So how is the love gonna be forever? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all gotta really look at things for what they are and stop looking at them from the fairy tales and the fantasy, because it is not real. You can create your own reality. You can create your own fantasy. You can create your own fairy tale, but you can't do it under the guise and programming of falseness and falsehood. You got to detach from that. You got to deconstruct from that so that you can create what it is. So you figure out what you want and then really create that. Because a lot of what you even think that you want is things that's planted ideas. Okay? So the law of resonance, like I said again, you attract what you embody. So if you're anxious, you're going to attract anxious partners, anxious clients, all these different type of things. You can't hide it. The law of receptivity. The feminine receives. The feminine receives, but performance blocks the very thing that you're praying for. This is why you can pretend, but eventually you're going to get found out. You're going to eventually get found out. You can't, the thing about it is the feminine receives. If you're always giving, there is a lack within self. Because you are disconnected from your core. You are not designed to be out here giving at all. You weren't made like that. The things that you are to give to, the things you are to nurture, the things you are to cherish, there's a time and a season and everything is arranged for that. But you trying to just pour and give to everybody and help everybody is not what you are supposed to be doing. You are supposed to be allowing yourself to receive. If you cannot receive, the same women who struggle to receive small things are the same women who struggle to receive compliments. Y'all throw compliments off you. When somebody compliments you, you immediately got to say, girl, you look pretty too. Or thank you so much, and you got to find something to say back to them because you feel like that's the polite thing to do. That's performing. And a lot of that performing came from you growing up in childhood. Don't embarrass me. Make sure you go out here and you do this. And a lot of us grew up in households where, Our parents raised us to be very educated. Don't go acting like that in front of white people. Let's just go ahead and get into the truth of it. That's really what this looks like. We literally have been raised, a lot of us, to slick perform minstrel shows. And I hate to say it like that, but it's just the truth. You're performing in a way to entertain other people, which distracts them from who you really are. When the real gold is being who you truly are. That's what a real gold is. And when you tap into that real gold and you start to really radiate, the right people come into your space. Because what you are embodying is so attractive that they have got to be in your face. They have got to be in your space. They have got to see what's going on. Okay? These are the things that are very, very important. These laws that I'm telling you, they're not just concepts. These are spiritual, how can I say this? These laws, they're not just concepts. They're spiritual infrastructure. They really are. And when you work against them, you drain your field. When you violate the law of divine order, not understanding your inherent value, you shrink. You cheapen your experience. You discount your prices. You allow people access to your emotional energy for free. You have no boundaries because you don't value yourself. When you're operating in a space of, thank you for these follows, when you're operating or you're violating the law of resonance and you're embodying something that's not authentically who you are, you're going to attract the very thing that you don't want because you're trying to be fake. A really good example of the law of resonance is when women, I gotta be real careful when I say this. A really big example of the law of resonance is when a woman goes on a date and she's trying to convince a man that she's celibate. Or, that's not even the right word, because celibacy, you take a vow, abstinent. Women who are truly abstinent, and I'm going to just say it for what it is. Women who are truly abstinent don't run around talking about how abstinent they are. Women who are truly abstinent really don't even mention the fact that they're abstinent on dates. They don't even mention that on dates. Well, what do you do if a man brings up, he starts to bring up sex, redirect him? See, if you get offended when a man brings that up, you may as well never deal with one ever again in your life. One aspect of their core primal nature, they are sex-led. One aspect of them. Okay? You redirect that. You redirect that. And you can redirect that in a way where you're not having to go off on them, where you're not having to give your power away by doing anything like that. It's a way you can redirect. There are women who will say, I'm abstinent, but you don't, you're trying to embody that and act like, or trying to say that's what you are. But what you embody is something different, because you ain't got no problem coming over to my house for a date. You ain't got no problem coming over, and let me do a massage on you, The thing about it is, if that's really what you're doing, then you would embody that. Meaning that you would be positioning yourself in a way to where this specifically would not happen. So when it talks about the law of resonance, you attract what you embody. So if you are embodying someone who is okay with a situationship, or you embody someone that's just a cool girl and I'm okay with whatever is going on, then you're going to attract people who are going to treat you just like that. Not like a lady, not like a princess, not like a queen, not like any of that. They're going to treat you exactly how you embody, how you present yourself. This is why I tell people, and people like to make this comment and say, when I say dress how you want to be addressed, like, well, I don't care what other people think about me and da-da-da-da. It's not about what other people think about you. I don't give a damn what nobody think about me. And I promise you, you can ask my family, you can ask my friends, they will tell you, when I make a decision, I do not care. Do you understand? What I care about is how I represent myself. What I care about is how I present myself. Because what I understand is that my presence sends a message. And when you understand that your presence sends a message, You move different. You're a little bit more exclusive. You're a little bit more attentive and cautious about where you position yourself and where you present yourself. This is not that. It's not about caring about what somebody else thinks about you. That should be at the lowest of the low on your priority list. It is about how you present and represent yourself. Especially if you run around here loving to use titles such as Christian, such as believer, such as this. Anytime you label yourself as anything, people are looking at you, looking for you to do something that is contrary to what you say. How do you want to present yourself? That is what the law of resonance is getting into. What are you embodying? What energy, when you walk into a room, if you were mute, if you could not speak, if the people in the room as well could not speak, when you entered into a room, could they feel your power? If they can't, you doing it wrong. You doing it wrong. If you can't walk into a room without, hey y'all, if you can't walk into a room and you don't say a word and your energy just commands the room, you ain't doing it right. You ain't in the fullness of your power, because that's embodiment. You pull people into your energy with your magnetism. You don't have to say a word. Your eyes do the talking and your energy does the walking, beloved. That's it. That's all. The law of receptivity. When you are violating the law of receptivity, you are blocking your blessings. To not be vulnerable is blocking your blessings. You're blocking your blessings because you refuse to be honest. You refuse to say that you don't have it together this time. You refuse to say, I'm not the strong one in this case. You refuse to say, I need help. And because of that, you block your ability to receive, and you send the signal out to the world. You send the signal out to the universal algorithm that you don't want or desire help. Therefore, you don't get it. Therefore, you don't get it. And if you don't get the help and the support that you want in life, and you carry the same energetics into business, you will not receive the type of money you want. Money will be very sparse. Money will be very inconsistent, and you'll be consistently frustrated. And it's all because you won't be vulnerable. I need help. This ain't working. I need to hire somebody. See, all of that. Your inability to be honest blocks vulnerability, and that vulnerability is blocking your money. Is blocking every blessing that you want. Is on the other side of you keeping it real with yourself and keeping it real with people who really can support you. You are blocking that. And I want us to really stop doing that. Because like I said, these laws are not just concepts. They're literally spiritual infrastructure. You setting up your structure. You know how the feminine thrives? Structure. The masculine is masculine, line as in order, line as in direction, line as in structure. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So you have to use your masculine energy, your order, your structure, left brain energy, to be able to create this infrastructure for yourself so that your feminine can flourish, because you are in divine order, because you do resonate and you do embody what it is. You do attract exactly what it is that you're embodying, because you're being authentic, because you allow yourself to receive. Feminine women should be able to receive, release, and reject, period. If you ain't receiving, it's because you ain't releasing. So I know doggone well you ain't rejecting. You accepting any and everything that comes your way, because that's where desperation comes in. Want to know how women get desperate? Because they don't know how to receive, release, and reject. Show me a woman that's desperate. I guarantee you one of these off. I guarantee you one of them off. Because that is the reality. Women who know how to receive, release, and reject, they end up being on top. They're not operating from a space of desperation. They're not used up either. Because a lot of us don't realize the expensiveness or the expensiveness of your emotional energy. You don't realize, which is why you will be on the phone and talk to a man and talk to people for 6 and 7 hours and there's no return on your investment. What you doing there for? Oh, I was just getting to know him. That ain't even how the masculine gets to know the feminine. The masculine doesn't get to know the feminine by having 5 and 6 hour conversations, FYI. The masculine is a masters of, the masculine is master of energy. The feminine is masters of intuition. The only way full energy can be read is to be in presence, which is why they talk about men who don't turn around and plan things for you are not really invested in you. Absolutely. Energetically not invested. Yeah. But that phone call, see, you get invested because for you, emotional energy is expensive. That's why when you get off that call with that client that went longer than it should have went, you feel exhausted, you feel tired, you feel like they owe you some money. Because why? Emotional energy is expensive when it comes to women. But you don't know that because you don't know yourself, which is why you are willingly giving it out to anyone for free. Though it tells you in scripture to guard your heart above everything else, because from it flows life. Okay? These are the violations that you are in spiritually, and it's costing you money. Now you see that it's costing you energy too. Now you see that money is energy. So it's costing you across the board. It's costing you love. Because why? Money and love sit on the same frequency. Ha ha ha. I didn't realize that you both got to be in a high vibrational state. Both have to be of value and both have to be in alignment. Do you understand? Boom. That's how you get it. But we miss it. We miss it. When you don't love yourself, there's no way that you're going to be able to sustain money. Period. Let's get into the 5 things that has to happen if you want to start preserving this energy. If you want to start, thank you, my love, for these gifts. If you want to start preserving this energy, if you want to get in a space of creating consistent income, the first thing that has to happen is that you have to rewire. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You have to rewire your field, okay? And you have to rewire your field. So let me explain this. It tells you in scripture, so a man thinking in his heart, so is he. Your heartbeat is a vibration. Okay? It sends out a beat, a vibration into your field. You have an attraction field around you. Basically, you can't see it, but you have an energetic field around you. Okay? This is sending out a signal, right? The signal that this is sending out from your subconscious mind is going out. And you're transmuting and transmitting this signal when you're going out, what you present on social media, you know, your energetics, all these different type of things, right? Hey, my love. So with your heart being a magnet like that, people are coming into your energy field because they're so attractive. They're finding that magnet attractive. They're finding that energy attractive. So they're coming into your field. And once they come into your field, what you entertain confirms the story of your subconscious mind. So if you love yourself, then you're going to choose people in your life that reflect the love that you have for yourself. Okay? When you respect yourself, you're going to choose people into your space who respect you as well because you understand the value of respect, right? So this is what's going to happen. But when you don't have those things, you're going to choose people who reflect the opposite. But the thing is, these people who reflect the opposite are still reflections of your mirror. So if you're choosing a person to be in relationship with a person who disrespects you and who dishonors you, what that says is that in private, in the depths of who you are, you dishonor and disrespect yourself. Because a standard for you automatically becomes a standard for somebody else. And if you don't believe me, let's get into it on a very, very simple way. Okay? Let's get into it from a space of deodorant. Now, everybody and their mama, okay? Everybody and their mama understand that it's about to be summertime, and you put on deodorant is a standard, right? You wouldn't be with a man who is walking around here and you putting on deodorant every day, making you smell good, and he going outside, he musty, he smell like 2 bags of onions. You're not gonna be okay with that, are you? Because the standard is that we shower and that we're clean and that we put on deodorant and that we do this and we do that. That is the standard for you, right? So if it is a standard for you, it automatically becomes the standard for somebody else. So who you playing with? So you mean to tell me you love yourself, but this man knocking your head between the washer and dryer, and you love yourself though? But he knocking your head between the washer and dryer though. But you love yourself though. You mean to tell me that this man disrespects you and dishonors you and does all these things to, you know, put you in position to be uncovered? But you respect yourself, right? Respect is the standard, huh? It's the standard, right? No, it's not. So it's the exact same thing. Just like you require, you wearing that deodorant, you requiring your man to wear the deodorant, your children, everybody else around you not to be musty. If respect is the requirement for you, then respect is the requirement for everybody else. You're not fooling anyone. This is why I say what you entertain that comes into your field is what confirms what is in your subconscious mind. So when you choose people who dishonor you and disrespect you, thank you for these likes and these gifts. When you choose people who disrespect you and dishonor you, what ends up happening is that you reflect the truth of who you are. You always meet yourself. Everyone you meet is a mirror and your teacher. Is either your mirror or your teacher. You either get a lesson, it's something going on, but you really need to be paying attention, okay? So if you want to shift, if you don't like what you've been entertaining, then you need to rewire your energy field to attract without chasing, okay? When your frequency is clean, when your frequency is clear, clients come, your community comes, the type of partners come. And I'm telling you this because I've supported my clients and do that. My client results look like my clients have made more money working with me. My clients have lost a lot of weight from working with me. My clients have attracted better partners from working with me. My clients have mastered their emotions. And all of these things, results I've been able to give for my clients repeatedly over and over again have come from, one, me starting and doing these things for myself. I used to be 100 pounds heavier. I used to have piss poor relationships. I used to be broke as hell, but though I had 3 jobs, I was working at MAC, and then I was working at the Department of Children's Services, and I had a bridal business, and I still couldn't end up keeping money. But all those things were rooted back to my nervous system not being regulated, me not being spiritually rooted, me violating all these laws. And when I shifted these things, I was able to create a 6-figure business without hustling, 6-figure plus business without hustling. I've been able to travel the world, and my business afforded me to do it. Being able to coach women from all over the world. I have clients in Australia. So the thing is, I work less now than I did when I was working those 3 jobs, and I make way more money, and it's more authentic. I'm more of myself. And in those scenarios, I was wearing a mask. I was performing. I'm the oldest daughter. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta be the first to do this and do that. I ain't gotta do none of that. Okay? I gotta do what's supposed to be for me. And when I got into the frequency of what I'm supposed to be doing for me, everything in my life took off. Every single thing in my life took off. But that started with me coming into obedience. When it says obedience is way better than sacrifice, that's really not a lie. It's really not a lie. The hardest part about it is making the decision to obey. But we live in a window, like I said, we're in a window right now, and every decision that you make is either going to push you towards forward progression or it's going to push you towards poverty. And I need you to understand that you got to start making some real decisions, because eventually that window is going to close. The doors have closed, but the window is still open. So decisions have to be made, okay? But start with rewiring your entire energy field so that you are not chasing, you are attracting. You should not have to go after things that are for you. You should be able to submit to these things, and hey, you ask. And here's the thing. It's so many cheat codes in scripture that I think people don't realize. Y'all make it a lot harder than it has to be. You don't have to chase anything. All you have to do is ask. A lot of y'all are too scared to ask. You don't have to chase anything. All you have to do is seek. A lot of you don't want to seek. All you have to do is, if you want an opportunity, is to knock, and doors will be open for you. Scripture tells you these things, and there's key words in here. It's saying ask. It's saying seek. It's saying knock. That's what you have to do spiritually to first open one door. The second aspect of that, if we're talking about on the earth, right? You use the same formula. But why are y'all so, but y'all let society program you to be so scary that you don't ask questions. You don't you don't seek things out to really get full understanding. Okay? You don't knock so that you can actually have these type of opportunities. You're afraid to take the first step, and that's the problem. You don't have to chase these things. You need to be in alignment. And a part of alignment, you're going to ask. You're going to seek things out because you got to make sure it's proper. And you're going to knock on the right doors. Transfer and understand that everything that you desire, the depths of your truth of your desires, not the ones that were planted ideas, the depths of your desires, everything that you want is sitting in the spirit realm. The problem is, the reason why you can't bring heaven on earth as it is in heaven, the reason why you are not able to do that is due to the block of yourself, your non-belief, your lack of faith, your lack of rooting, which is why it leads to things like you being anxious, you being impulsive, you making decisions that go against what it is that you truly desire. You're not attracting the things that you want. You're not solving the spiritual problem. This is why when you first come into the Muse Activator, when you work with me, the first week we're doing nervous system rewiring and emotional regulation immediately. You ain't finna get if you think you finna come work with me and make more money, attract better men, and get healthier, and you don't think you got to come in first and regulate your nervous system, I will give you your money back, because you're not going to be able to receive. Your problem is receiving. Your problem is receiving. You out here asking and trying to figure out tricks on how to get men to give you money and receive. Men invest in what they deem to be valuable, but the problem is you don't see yourself as valuable. Therefore, they don't see you as valuable because you don't see yourself as valuable. Because real value is protected. Real value is covered. Don't they keep the real jewelry in the back? Don't they keep the real pricey jewelry in the back under lock and key? Why are you not under lock and key if you were that valuable? Why are you so accessible? Why are you so available? You must not be that valuable. Why would I invest in that? The key thing is that when you solve the problem of understanding the law of divine order by understanding your inherent value, everywhere you go, you'll understand that you're walking value. Everyone will see your value. You won't have to say nothing. Women who make comments like, oh, you need to know my worth, and you don't know my worth. You don't know your own worth if you have to say that out loud. Because women who understand their worth don't stay in scenarios or situations that demean or devalue them. They just don't do it because they understand the law of divine order. Again, as a woman, if you want to thrive on this earth, I'm trying to give you the math, because it really does math. Spiritual law needs to be your top priority. You need to understand how this world works. You need to understand the Creator and everything that has been created, and how to be able to use these laws to create your own reality in this crazy world, because you can. But you can't if you don't get access. And the access is you got the kingdom of heaven within you, according to Luke 17:21, baby. The way out is through. And I know you like to skip, but it just don't work that way. Spiritual law is number one. Understanding the science of your feminine design is number two. I don't know why y'all not cycle syncing. I don't know why y'all not in tune with your cycle in 2025 with all these women with all these womb issues. I had a womb issue for 21 years, baby. They told me I had polycystic ovarian syndrome when I was 20, and nobody was talking about it in 2024. And I said, before you 41 with a great cycle that lasts about 4 days at max, I don't really cramp like that. They said I would never be able to get rid of that. They said I was going to have all these issues. They said. And I did it with none of their medications. They said. Programming. The body is an intelligent vessel that heals itself. You don't think the Creator put built-in things to be able to support you before it completely breaks down? The problem is you don't recognize the warning signs, because the warning signs they're telling you are just normal. It's normal. It's normal for you to have an irregular cycle. It's normal for you to be spotting in between your periods. They're not telling you that you low on progesterone. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you need to eat things to position yourself to actually get that together, because progesterone and estrogen, they come hand. And they're not telling you that. Oh, that's normal for you to spot. Just do this. Your cycle's not irregular. Just get on birth control. But they're not telling you that the birth control, the way that it's designed specifically, it is stronger. It mimics things within your body. And when you create something that mimics the Creator's creation, it ends up destroying the Creator's creation, because it normally forms or acts a little bit stronger. See, when they give you certain medications and certain things specifically, there was a young lady who inboxed me that she got, I think it was an IUD. And she asked me about it, and she asked me why she was spotting. And I told her straight up why she was spotting. I said, you're spotting because what that drug is doing is that it's releasing a hormone over time, and that hormone is a mimic of a natural hormone that your body produces, but it is a stronger form of that. And that form, that reaction of you spotting like that, is coming from that, because it's throwing the body out of balance. So the thing is, what women don't realize too is that when you throw the womb out of balance, when you throw the cycle out of balance, you throw creation out of balance. You don't just throw creation out of balance in the form of your womb. You throw creation out of balance. You throw creation out of balance. There's a connection between your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, and your ovaries. If you know how to use it correctly, you can use that during a specific phase of your cycle. And what that will do is charge your brain so much, you'll have so much creativity, baby. You can make money. And I'm telling you, because this is a tip and something I taught my client who is almost at $1 million, who's still using it to this day. She's been using it since 2021. When you understand your body, you know how to create. Creation is not just limited to your womb. Your womb is a wealth creation station. The Most High is the most intelligent, high-level architect. Our body does thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of things that we don't even realize because we are not that attentive. So when I'm telling you, understanding yourself as a woman and understanding everything that comes with you, your science, it'll make you protect yourself. It'll make you protect yourself when you realize how powerful you are. It'll make you protect yourself when you realize the essence of who you are and how it gives life to the masculine, how it gives life to everything else around. You don't know how to protect that because you understand the science of yourself. Okay? Ooh! And we got somebody who's, yep, I took my next line out quick. I never dealt with spotting and depression until I had it. I love when y'all enter the chat and tell me what it is and confirm what I'm saying. Because I promise you, I tell people I'm not new to this. I'm very true to it. Women come to me all the time. Your doctors, your nurses, your attorneys. They come to me to get their energetics right. It's not a joke or a game. This foreign stuff put in your body, baby, it's something else. Let me get back to it. Rewire your energy field to attract without chasing. That's one. The second thing is that has to happen. The second thing you need to do if you want to create consistent income in your business and preserve your energy is to reclaim your voice and your message from distortion. You're going to have to deconstruct from the performance. All that code switching, all that I have to be perfect, all that all the false narratives that you are telling yourself that have made you distort yourself. All that has to stop, and you have to reclaim the truth of who you are and your message. Well, that goes back to when I was saying about how you want to present yourself. Okay, what is the message that you are trying to send with your scent, with your look, with your voice? What is the message that you want? The way you present your clothes. What is the message that you are putting out there? If you couldn't talk and nobody could speak, could they look at you and pick up what it is that you are literally putting down? Okay, that's really, really important, especially when it comes down to business. Because if your visibility isn't landing, it's because it's layered in fear. You're not comfortable. And the thing about it is, in the muse activator, we peel that back. We peel that layer back from you that is afraid to show up in the fullness of yourself. How do I know you're afraid to show up in the full? You're fidgeting. You're pulling on your clothes. Nothing tells me more. That tells me a whole lot when I see a woman out and she's pulling on her clothes. She's not confident. She's not comfortable. She probably had to ask a couple of people, does this look right? Because she didn't feel comfortable, and the energetics are giving off that she's insecure in this moment. And if there was a man who was in his wounded masculine or unhealed masculine, he would take advantage of that because he sees that she's insecure. So the only thing that he has to do is walk up to her and say, "You looking good in that dress." Here she go. For real? He saw you over there pulling on your clothes. He saw you over there, the body language saying that you're insecure. The body language saying that this outfit does not necessarily fit you. The body language is saying that you're not really comfortable. And because of that, a predatory man will come into your space and because you're not secure and you're not comfortable. That's something that you really have to pay attention to. You can't be afraid to show up in the fullness of yourself. Confidently. Okay? And this is one of the things, like I said, the layers that we pull back in the Muse Activator. Here's the third thing that's very important if you want to create more income. Because I'm going to say this too. When it comes down to reclaiming your voice and your message, how you show up in rooms. How you show up in rooms makes so much of a difference. How people take you serious. You know, how you show up and you're feeling, you're confident, you're speaking. What message you're sending. All that really, really matters. She said, my IED migrated, so doctors are walking to find it and remove it. Lord. I have heard that before. I hope they hurry up and find and remove it. Sheesh. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. The third thing that's really important that you must do if you want to create create consistent income, as well as, okay, if you want to preserve your energy, is that you need to reprice. You need to rebuild, okay, your pricing and your rhythm to reflect your real power. Y'all got to stop pricing small. The days of pricing small is over with. Now I'm in towards the end, towards the middle of the end. You can't do that anymore. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You can't do that anymore. We are in a space now. Get rid of the 6-figure talk. Get rid of the I need to make $100,000. You need to make more money than that. Your goal at minimum needs to be $385,000. And if you hear that and that makes you feel uncomfortable, good. Good. If you hear that and that makes you scared, good. Because you should let's transmute that energy right now. 385,000 minimum. Let's take that energy, transmute that fear right now into action. Because it should make you nervous. But what should make you even more nervous is you trying to make $100,000 and realizing that ain't no money, and then you be trying to figure out what you finna do. 385,000 needs to be your minimum. That's your mindset. And if that scares you, like I said, good. Because take that as a challenge. Transmute that energy up as a challenge. I need to either turn around and sell either I need to create a product for $38,500 and get 10 companies to invest in it, or I need to create a product for $10,000 and I need to find 39 people who are going to invest in it, or 39 companies who are going to invest in it. It is not that difficult. Business is a numbers game. You got to know how to play the game. You have to know how to play the game. It is a numbers game. It is about positioning and pricing. So when I'm talking about rebuilding your pricing and rhythm to reflect power, you have to really understand and get into a space of, if your prices are rooted in insecurity, people don't really have money right now, I'm just going to charge $50. All right. While $50,000 is being closed over your head. But you want to charge $50. If your prices are rooted in insecurity, your income will be too. If your prices are rooted in insecurity, your income will be too. So you put these blocks on yourself when you don't want to step into full power. The reason why a lot of people don't want to price high, or they don't want to be like, I want to sell high ticket and do this. You don't want to be responsible for what comes with that. Yeah, you're going to have to get with it. When they drop that $10,000 on you, yeah, you need to get with it. When they drop that $20,000 on you, yeah, you need to get with it. It do need to make you shake in your chest a little bit. It also should light a fire under you for you to be able to execute this so excellent that you get you another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Because it's really not hard to get. It's a numbers game. And y'all, the problem is y'all act like y'all so exhausted y'all can't play games. I don't want to play games. I see y'all all the time in the comments, especially with a lot of women who be talking about men and how you need to understand the game and chess and all that. I don't want to play games. I don't want to play games. I don't want to play games. If you don't want to play games, you're going to get played. Business is a game. See, I'm just going to be really honest with you. You're probably not going to like what I say. I'm just going to tell you anyway. The problem is you don't understand that life is a game. And you either win or lose. Even if you look at it and when it comes down to scripture, you either win or you lose. Let's get into it. Life is a game. It's actually a nice lengthy game of chess. It is a nice lengthy game of chess of your choices and decisions. That's it. When you understand your value and you understand your position as the queen, you make decisions that are strategic, intentional, and you make your next move your very best move every single time. Okay? Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these comments and these likes and these follows. This is what you do when you understand that life is a game. Here's where the biggest problem is and why women are struggling so much. Why women and men are struggling. Why humans are struggling so much to understand that the game is life. The problem is you let society and propaganda and media turn around and program you into thinking that we are competitors and we are to compete against each other, that we are to play the game against one another. And that is the biggest problem. So you go into every scenario. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes and these comments. You go into every scenario with a person with your idea in your mind to play the game because you've been taught, you've been trained to be competitors, when the truth is the real game is life. So when people continue to compete against each other, y'all are losing at the game of life. You are losing in life because you are competing with other people because you don't know who you are. Because if you knew who you are, you understand you have a godlike nature, godlike character, dominion, mean you have your own piece of the pie. But no, you want to listen to society's programming. You want to let them play with you. And so now you want to compete with everybody you come in contact with, from the partners, from your friends, from everyone. So now it's one big competition, but everybody's still losing that life. You better redirect. You better pay attention. The game is life. See, as a millennial, we really took for granted having the game of life. Some of us go back and start playing board games. And I'm saying this for two reasons. One of them, I'm saying them so you can understand the strategy. The other one, I'm telling you, I can't say why I'm saying it, but I'm gonna tell you this. Go get the game of life. See, millennials, we took the board games a little bit too lightly. We took them for granted. Go back and get the game of life so you can understand how this go. It's really a game called life. Go get it. Also, behind it, go get Monopoly. If you want to understand where you live at, if you want to understand the earth you live on, do you understand what I'm telling you? Go get them games and play. If you got children, start playing them with your children. I'm trying to tell you something without telling you something. Because all y'all complaining about capitalism, and it ain't nothing but monopoly. You need to pay attention. Buy up the property, you need to pay attention. Big bang up the property, you need to pay attention. Big bang taking to pay attention. Big bang taking little bang. Life and monopoly. Better go get them. If your prices are rooted in insecurity, your income will be too. Number 4. Here's another thing that you need to do to create more income in your business consistently and to preserve your energy. You need to learn AI without burning out or betraying your essence. Notice how I said them two things. Because I know y'all using AI to not burn out. I know y'all using it as a cheat code, but I know y'all using it to do some other stuff too, and I don't like it. You betraying your essence. You losing your voice. You losing your consciousness because you're relying on something that you programmed. Do you understand that that is a program that is regurgitating information back to you in a different way because of the way that you have programmed it? I am a child of a computer programmer, and I'm also a nerd. So yeah, and I've also been on ChatGPT since it's been in existence because I understand that when they get platforms, they test them out for 3 years and they're doing research, and I'm doing research too because I understand because I'm a nerd. Yeah. Learn to use AI without burning out or betraying your essence. Your visibility should amplify you, not exhaust you. And that's how you do it, using AI. Okay? Number 5. And this is very important. So we got 4. The five things you do. 1, rewire your energy field to attract, not chase. 2, reclaim your voice in your messaging from distortion. Meaning you're going to have to detox, deconstruct from a lot of what society is giving you so that you stop regurgitating the foolishness. All these podcasts, men and women, it ain't nothing but regurgitated. It's like reheated soup. It's reheated soup that's been old for days. Okay? Reclaim your message and your voice from distortion. Rebuild your pricing and your rhythm to reflect your real power. Learn to use AI without burning out or betraying your essence as a woman. And most importantly, lean back into yourself. I'm going to say that again. Lean back into yourself. Power is not improving. Power is not improving yourself. Power is not improving that you're the smartest one in the room. Power is not proving that you're in control. Power is not proving anything. Power is in presence. The more you relax, the more magnetic you become. Let me tell you something about how you can attract clients and how easy it is. If you are using AI as a strategy for you to not burn out, let's just say you're using AI twins, or let's just say, you're using that so you don't have to do photo shoots and different things like that. So that's you conserving your energy, you writing. Let's say you automate your post and you're doing all these things, right? So you're posting, putting all this information out here, and you're not even present. These things are all automated. These things are all online. These it's just none of this you have to do. You don't have to do any of this. This is just literally everything being put out there. What is happening is that you are leaning back. So when you are leaning back and you're using these tools and people are seeing you but they not seeing you, they start to wonder about you. They start to see a little mystery about you. And see, people are attracted to mystery. People are they're intrigued by what they don't understand or what's not really clear to them. So guess what they're gonna start doing? They're gonna start investigating. Now they're on your page. And they thought they was reading your content for something else, and then they actually found something they agree with. Okay. She do know. I can really. Next thing you know, this person is now following you. So now they're getting on your live. And now they're actually hearing you and they actually get your presence. So now that they have your presence and they are pulled in, now we go from possibly going into a space of conversion, depending on if what you're saying resonates, depending on if what you're saying is their desired results, depending on whatever the outcome that you're speaking on is what they truly, truly want within the depths of themselves. It's real easy. Attraction is science in a mirror. I teach you that too. Attraction is science in a mirror. That's it. It has something to do with how you look, but it's more so about energetics. And when you understand energetics, you can attract exactly what it is you want. Anything I've ever wanted, I got. Know this. Anything I've ever wanted, I got. Anyone I've ever wanted, I got. And I ain't had to chase it. So the thing about it is, it's about understanding your energetics. So lean back. Because I want you to really think about this. If you were sitting in my face right here, right? And I leaned into your face, you're going to lean back. Because you're like, what the? You all right? It's the same concept. So if I'm sitting here and I lean back, that person's going to lean in forward to me. Lean back. Let them lean in. Okay? So that's the fifth thing. The more you relax, the more magnetic you become. The more magnetic you become, the more attractive. The more people are coming and pulled into you. Okay? So this is why it's really important to step into this space and really do this if you want to create consistent income and if you want to preserve your energy. Okay, so if you heard everything that was on here and you're like, oh my god, okay, yeah, that's totally me, I need to get this together and get myself together, I have the Muse Activator. The Muse Activator, and this is what everything we talked about today is what we cover in week 1. So the whole process of how to do these things, what laws you need to understand, why these laws are important, how to use these laws to create your reality, how to use them to shift your life. We go through all of these things in the first week because it's a part of the nervous system rewiring and the emotional intelligence regulating part of the Muse Activator. So this particular container, okay, it's a 6-week container. It's $9.97. You get it with Klarna, Firm, and Afterpay. If you want entry into it, you have to send me a DM that says activate. Don't send me activate if you're not ready. Don't send me activate because I'm going to send you the link to pay. And when you get the link to pay, you're going to get your contract. And when you get your contract, you're going to come in and we're going to start getting into this pre-work. We have, I think right now I have 3 spots left for the Muse Activator because I had a couple that came in last night. So this is for women who want to regulate their energy, restore their rhythm by literally coming into cycle syncing and figuring out what is that, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and ovary thing that I was talking about how you can use it to make more money. You're going to learn how to reclaim your voice and step into the fullness of embodiment. You're going to learn how to rebuild when it comes down to your business on your power, on truth, and not trauma, because a lot of women are starting businesses out of trauma, which again is performance based. Please stop doing that. That's why your business is closing down. I really don't want this for y'all, okay? So understand that when you come into the Muse Activator, this isn't strategy first. This is frequency led first, because energetics is everything. You start there. I try to explain to people when people come into containers to come and work with me, you think people are like, okay, yes, you hear the results. My client went from 3 figures to 15K in less than 30 days. My client manifested a cottage home of her dreams on 200 acres of land 30 days after we met. These things really happened. Like, I'm not even kidding. 30 days after we had our session. My client went from having 0 bookings in her program to completely filling up her program in less than 6 weeks. So I had a client who reversed her heart damage after the doctor said she would never be able to do it, and she lost like 70 pounds. So the thing is, when we come into that, they get those results, yes. All of those things are great, yes. One of my clients attracted a fiance. So yeah, all of these things are like great, right? They're great things. They're wonderful. But it's not strategy that I'm teaching them. And I think women get that confused. It's not strategy that I'm just like teaching them. What I'm teaching them is to make themselves an energetic match for that. Number one, you have to discover if that's what you really want, because we have to get down to the depths of your desires. The second aspect of that looks like, okay, this is what I truly desire. How do I become an energetic match for that? Because the energetic match I need to be for that is who can sustain that. Okay? And that is the work that I do. We get down to the bottom of that. We get down to your energetics across the board. Because you need sustainability. A lot of you want to do a lot of different things and you can't sustain. You don't have the energy for it because you're not even in sync with your cycle. You're not even in sync with your natural rhythm, but yet you want to be out here being superwoman for everybody. You're going to crash. You need time to rest. You need boundaries. You need protection. But all these things start with yourself. You have to protect and provide in ways for yourself if you want to attract provision and protection from masculine. Like, women don't want to hear that, but that's really the truth. So like I said, what you learn in the Muse Activator is not just it's not strategy led, it's frequency led, it's not, oh, it's just mindset only, it's embodiment. A lot of women, y'all done enough mindset work. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Y'all have enough knowledge. Y'all have done enough mindset work. The problem is you're not implementing, and meaning that you're not embodying. And you're not embodying, that's what's causing you to not get what you want. You're not embodying confidence, so people don't want to come in and secure you. Confidence is about security. It's about being secure in your belief about self. Because you're not secure in your belief about self, people are not secure about you, and they don't secure you. Okay? So these are the things that you really have to understand about yourself. It's about embodiment. It's no longer about getting the next self-help book or the next course. You need to step into the fullness of who you are, okay? So these are the outcomes that my clients tend to experience internally, just a few of them. Number one, clarity that sticks. My clients are no longer confused. When my clients leave me, ain't no more confusion, and my clients don't get confused by other people. Because one of the things that I also teach in the Muse Activator, for 1 week specifically, I talk about the human psychology of the masculine and the feminine. So there is no confusion about who and how and wanting men to operate like women and thinking that women can operate like men. We are designed very differently. Equal in power, different in design. I think that was Dr. Miles Monroe that said that. Rest him. Equal in power, different in design, though. And that's the thing that you have to understand. When you understand that we're different in design, that will correct your expectations. A lot of women hurt their own feelings because you have these expectations of men that are not real, because you don't understand the core primal nature of men. And because you and the fact that you don't understand the core primal nature of men is a key indicator that you do not understand the core primal nature of yourself. Because women at core, if we want to keep it all the way real, and this is the core primal that I'm speaking about, women are just as vicious, women are just as violent, women are just as vigilant. As men, you may not be as physical with it, but a lot of the things that we inflict and the things that we do that are primal, that are chaotic, right, or that are animalistic, are literally things that can cause long-term psychological and emotional damage. And we know this. We know this. Now, a lot of us try to act like we're, no, but I don't act like that. You have to train yourself to go against your core primal nature. You have to train yourself. Even for myself, I am a woman at core, but I have rewired and retrained my mindset and my nervous system to not immediately go into my flesh, primal. People don't understand that, and you don't grasp it. A lot of you think that you're above the program when in reality you're not. You're not above the program. You're not really paying attention. So it's extremely important when my clients come in to work with me, they have that clarity because they gain that understanding. So they have clarity that sticks. They have income that reflects their real worth. They're making the type of money they should have been making a long time ago. Okay. that reflects their real worth. They're making the type of money they should have been making a long time ago. Okay, they have visibility without panicking. They can go out and speak to whoever. They don't care if Jesus in the room, Beyonce, who, they don't care who in the room. They weren't going to the room and still 100% be visible without panicking, without all the extra, because they understand the power within themselves. They have influence without performing. They don't have to show off. They just need to show up. And when they show up, their presence said enough. Their presence, them showing up, says enough. Think about the person that you respect the most, like you in your entire life, and something was happening, an event was happening, and that person was coming. You probably would go to that because you're like, man, if that person gonna be in the room, it really must be something. That's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes down to having influence without having to perform. This is what the Muse Activator does for you. It puts you in position, okay? So if you are tired of branding power while secretly burning out, and you want consistent income from alignment instead of anxiety, and you're ready to invest in your nervous system behind your next level, then this is going to be the program for you, okay? But if you want shortcuts instead of sovereignty, if you want hustle, or if you believe hustle is holy, hey, if you're afraid to let your nervous system lead and get, hey, this is not going to be for you, okay? But if you are ready to come into the space of the fullness of that, this is going to be amazing for you. DM me the word activate, and then I will send you a link so that you can get started. I have 3 more of those feminine sales strategy sessions. That is for women who want to scale their businesses who want to scale their businesses so they can be making 5 figures a month. So that session, I have 3 of those left. You have to DM me the word session for that. Those are $150. Once those are done, those are done. They're not going to be $150 anymore. And I don't know when I'm going to bring that service back. But if you are in a space where you know you're in business, you know you're not hitting that a month, you really need to get in a space where you can scale up, because you're going to end up having to close your business down, and you do not want to be stuck with what is coming. You do not want to be trying to figure out what your next move is going to be as things shift in the world, okay? So position your business so that you can be paid well. Drop whatever questions you have in the comments for me. When you get your one-on-one session with me, with the feminine sales session, you get access to my AI bot, and my AI bot is going to tell you what sales block you have going on, what is causing you to not make the amount of money that you want to make. It's a sales block. And if you click the link in the bio as well, you can get access to any of my other courses or services. I have Monetize Like a Muse that teaches you how to specifically make money online authentically without dealing with any form of imposter syndrome. It is impossible for you to have imposter syndrome if you have Monetize Like a Muse, because what it does is that you get access to my $10,000 AI bot that lets you know up front what's your energy profile. It lets you know up front, these are 3 ways that you can, 3 monetizable streams of income that you have within you. It's going to ask you what industry you're in so that you can specifically get clear on, like, this is how you're going to make the money and do this. And then you get the course that comes with it that teaches you everything about how to monetize like a muse. And then you get 2 weeks of personalized one-on-one coaching with me, and that's $497. So you get 2 weeks of Telegram coaching with me, you get the course, and you get access to my $10,000 bot that lets you know, hey, this is what you do well. These are the 3 ways that you can make money from it. This is the best way that you work. Let's go get this money. Book your session now with Elle so we can flesh everything out. That's literally how it goes. So as soon as you pay for that, you get access to the course. You get your Telegram link in your information. You come on over to the monetization channel where we get the money. And then we get you set up so where you can start monetizing like a muse, okay? And like I said, it's $497. You get that recliner affirming afterpay. And I also have magnetizing, I think the magnetic wealth blueprint in the bio. That is for women who struggle to receive. If you struggle to receive and you need a quick shift into understanding, rewiring your nervous system to improve or elevate your income and your intimacy, that's going to help you, because you're going to get love in the nervous system in there. So if you keep attracting men that drive you crazy, and your attachment style, if you got attachment style issues, it's going to help you rewire and get yourself together with that. If you have issues in the area of your magnetism, it's going to support you and help you get that. Okay, so it is a wonderful, wonderful bundle. And I want to say that bundle is $197. So those are the options. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to assume that we don't have any. And if we don't have any, I'm going to get off here because I think me and my sister are going to go hang out. So, but yeah, if y'all have any questions, any concerns, I am going to check my DMs to see, for those who have sent activate or those who have sent session, I'm going to send those links out to you. Those links expire in 2 hours. So take care of that, because once you get it and it's gone, it's gone. Once those 3 spots are gone, they're gone. I'm not bringing that service back. I'm solely focusing on women who want to activate their inner muse, because I'm telling you, if you don't activate your inner muse, which your a muse, I believe all women are muses. A muse is a source of inspiration. You're literally walking art. If you don't tap into the artistry of self, via the kingdom of heaven within you, according to Luke 17:21, you will not get access to your gifts, according to Proverbs 8:12, that says you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. So if you don't go within, you ain't gonna get through what's coming. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you don't go within, you ain't gonna be able to get through what is coming. So go within, do your work. I have resources and ways to support you. I'm about to go. Y'all have an amazing day. Click the link in the bio to get access to these products and services. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right. And I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing Thursday. Peace, y'all.